There is plenty of trauma to go around in the world. In fact, being a human means we don't escape it. Whether it's bad things that have happened to us, or maybe it's good things that we were meant to have that we didn't, trauma can leave its mark on us. We created this next course to help you understand more about trauma and how it impacts you. And not only that, how it can impact the people that might sit across from you as an Immanuel Approach practitioner. The Immanuel Approach is a way of growing an interactive connection with Jesus, one where true healing happens when you experience Jesus with you in the middle of your hurt. I'm Cathy Little, Executive Director and co-founder of the Immanuel Institute, and this is the Immanuel Institute podcast. Here I'm going to answer your questions about the Immanuel Institute and share how you can learn more and grow in this approach. Whether you want to strengthen your own relationship with Jesus or be equipped to help others, this is for you. If you're new here, that's fantastic. Welcome. Each episode stands on its own, so you are starting in the right place. Let's dive in. In this episode, I'm going to be sharing with you a little bit about our Understanding Trauma course. Dr. Gabor Maté has said that trauma isn't necessarily what happens to you, it's what happens inside of you as a result of the things that happen to you. That brings an immense amount of hope, because while we cannot change what's happened to us or the things that we missed out on that we should have had, we can heal from what it did inside of us. And that brings a lot of hope, because you can heal. The Immanuel Approach in its own right is very trauma-informed because it's built on what the brain needs to heal. And everybody who comes through our school, we want them to know what's going on behind the model that they're learning and understanding why the Immanuel Approach is designed the way it is. And this course is going to provide that. The Understanding Trauma course is a collection of the top voices in trauma-informed therapy right now in one place. And we're bringing these voices together to create a collection where you can go and spend some time learning from each of them in one platform. We have Dr. Bessel Kolk, who wrote the book, The Body Keeps the Score. You may have heard of that, and that is in our course as required reading. Not the whole book, but a strong portion of it. Also, Dr. Gabor Maté, Stephen Porges, Dr. Carl Lehman, who founded the model, and Dr. Jim Wilder, and several other voices. Dr. Kurt Thompson is also there, and we have a book that he wrote where we invite you to read some portions of that as well. This is not just our team talking about trauma. This is hearing from the key leaders and voices in trauma-informed care themselves directly. And this collection of resources for you, videos, podcasts, reading material, it is really powerful and packed full of helpful information. We have several students that have gone through that course already and have raved about how it has impacted them. The format and structure of the Understanding Trauma course is that it is built in 8 separate lessons or modules, and it is completely self-paced and fully online, so you can jump in and do it at your leisure. It's going to take about 2 to 3 hours per module for the reading and things that you listen to, videos you watch. And then there's also a review question area, like a little quiz. Don't be scared. A little bit of a quiz, and a place for you to reflect on what you're learning. We want you to be synthesizing the information that you're learning, not simply bouncing over it and skimming over it. We're all pretty used to scrolling past things on our phones, but we wanted to build in a reflection section where you can actually synthesize what you're learning. There is no expiration date on it, so once you get access, you can do it at your leisure and take as long as you want. If you join us in level 2, then you have automatic access to it. You don't have any registration fee. There's nothing extra on top of that. But if you're not ready to join us yet in level 1 and level 2, it's no problem, because you can sign up and get access to the first 2 modules completely free right now. You can go to our website, immanuelinstitute.com, and click on courses and find the Understanding Trauma course. You can get access right now to those first 2 lessons. No charge. It's our way of saying you can try before you buy, and we are totally happy to let you do that. If you like what you're experiencing and you want to move further, you'll have an opportunity to purchase the rest of it at that point. And it's very modestly priced. So no worries there. It's not expensive at all, but we do want to make that available to you if it's something that you find helpful, and we think you will for sure. What it covers is what trauma is, how it impacts the brain, how it impacts the body, how it impacts relationships with other people and also with God. It touches on attachment theory and polyvagal theory, even into intergenerational trauma and how generational trauma can be passed down, and so much more. It is so packed full of content. The last area is where we invite you to listen to Dr. Jim Wilder and Dr. Carl Lehman side by side so you can see why the Immanuel Approach is built the way it is and why it's so effective in trauma care. We're so happy about this course and the fact that we can make it available to everyone, and we do hope that you will take advantage of that. And again, if you want to go through the course with us for learning the Immanuel Approach, once you get into level 2, it's going to be included. And if you're planning to be certified by us, that is a required course. We'll talk about certification more in a future episode. What our students are walking away from when they complete this course is a much deeper awareness of what trauma does to people and how it impacts us. And they find it really valuable even if they're not taking other courses. It stands on its own to help you grow in understanding trauma. Here's what some of our students have said about the Understanding Trauma course.
As soon as I started doing the trauma investigation, I started to become aware of my own trauma. What I super appreciated in the trauma training was Dr. Wilder's, when he talked about his clinical experience, and they found that people, when they started to do trauma work, they actually ended up potentially suicidal, et cetera, et cetera. And then they introduced the joy component first before they did trauma. That was so impactful for me personally to hear his testimony. That was really private, informative clinical stuff that was so impactful and rich, to know that while you do the trauma, you've actually got to build that joy, because as we would all know, as we're going through trauma, then there's more. I super appreciated the whole thing.
The trauma module for me has been helpful twofold, just on the level of meeting with other people. It's deepened that sense of curiosity, making it safe, not assuming. And then just on a personal level, something that's always happened for me in my journey is that it's like I have to get this piece of information before I go, hey, wait a minute, I think I'm experiencing that. To realize, even in my own personal journey, some of the trauma responses that are at play in my own life, and being able then to go and explore that with Jesus. I love the trauma module for those two reasons, but also just the way it pulls together so many different viewpoints, practices, and just puts it all in one place, that we get this really solid foundational understanding, and then we can go explore those various areas in the module. And fantastic. It was amazing.
The training has been so amazing. The program that you put together is the best material. I think it's so much more beneficial and impacting than the schooling that I went to. I feel like such a deeper level of understanding trauma and weaving that into what we're actually doing as well in our journey with Jesus and the Immanuel Approach. It's been really great.
In our previous episodes leading up to this, I've talked to you about the level 1 Immanuel Approach for Life, which is open for everyone. And I've also talked about the level 2 course if you want to become a practitioner. And we're talking about the Understanding Trauma course now and how important that piece is. Whether or not you ever pursue training in the Immanuel Approach, it will impact your life in a beautiful way. But the next step for you, if you do want to pursue becoming a practitioner, is our certification path. So we're going to talk about that in a future episode and what that involves. If you're curious and want to know more, please stop in at our website, immanuelinstitute.com. That is Immanuel spelled with an I. You can find out about our courses there. There's more information in the rest of the podcast series as well, so hop around a bit. Thanks so much for listening.